Nuclear power boondoggle. From 3 Mile Island to the SMR hype. Part 1. The marketing of a big lie. Nuclear power has often been called the most effective marketing campaign of all time. Since 1945, the industry has pushed a narrative of clean, green energy, a powerful genie that could be safely contained within the walls of a reactor. But for those who look closely, this narrative is a big lie, where exaggerations about costs and safety are used to protect an industry that cannot survive without massive public subsidies. To understand the danger of the so-called nuclear renaissance being sold to us today, we first have to look at the radioactive scars left by the past. Part 2. The legacy of catastrophe. 3 Mile Island, Chernobyl, and Fukushima. The history of nuclear power is defined by negative learning. As technology improved, the complexity and risks only grew. In 1979, the 3 Mile Island accident in Pennsylvania resulted in a partial core meltdown. While it was rated a level 5 on the International Nuclear Event Scale, it effectively halted new reactor orders in the U.S. for a decade or longer. Then came 1986 and Chernobyl, a level 7 disaster that bathed Europe in a radioactive cloud and created an exclusion zone that remains a toxic legacy even today. The most recent wake-up call was Fukushima Daiichi in 2011. When a 15-meter tsunami hit the coast, it disabled the backup generators, leading to a total station blackout. Reactors 1, 2, and 3 suffered full meltdowns within the first 3 days. Hydrogen explosions blew the roofs off the buildings, discharging massive amounts of iodine and cesium into the atmosphere and the Pacific Ocean. Critics call Fukushima a man-made disaster. It wasn't just the earthquake, it was collusion between the government, the regulators, and TEPCO, the utility company. They ignored clear warnings that their tsunami countermeasures were insufficient. Today, over a decade later, the site is still fighting a losing battle against contaminated groundwater, and the cleanup is estimated to cost nearly $190 billion. Part 3. The SMR pivot. Hype versus reality. Despite this dangerous legacy, the nuclear fans on social media and industry lobbyists are now pushing small modular reactors, or SMRs, as the latest technological miracle. These are reactors of 300 megawatts or less that are supposed to be built in factories and shipped to sites like Legos. But here's the reality. None have been built in the United States. The flagship project of the SMR movement, NuScale's carbon-free power project, was officially canceled in late 2023. Why? Because the economics were a disaster. The estimated costs ballooned to over $20,000 per kilowatt, making it far more expensive than even the most over-budget large reactors. SMR promoters claim these designs are safer and produce less waste, but the science says otherwise. In terms of waste, SMRs generate just as much highly radioactive waste per unit of heat as large reactors. In terms of safety, industry lobbyists are actually pressuring the Nuclear Regulatory Commission at the NRC to loosen safety requirements, such as eliminating off-site emergency evacuation plans and reducing the number of armed security personnel. And in terms of fuel, Many of these so-called advanced reactors require the HALEU fuel, which the U.S. currently has to source from Russia. Part 4. The political players. Oil, billionaires, and the Trump administration. Who is actually behind this SMR hype? It isn't just idealistic scientists. It is an alliance of billionaires, the fossil fuel industry, and the political far right. Billionaires like Bill Gates, who founded TerraPower, use their wealth to promote these unproven technologies while still relying on billions in public tax dollars to fund their risky projects. During the Trump years, the administration made a concerted push to revitalize nuclear power by rolling back regulations, and that continues now. The same people promoting energy dominance under Trump are the ones pushing to bypass environmental standards for nuclear licensing. This is not a transition away from dirty energy. It is a way to siphon tax dollars into a capital-intensive industry that the private market refuses to fund. There is also a quiet alliance with the oil and gas industry. When nuclear projects like NuScale fail, the fallback is almost always natural gas. In fact, the utilities that abandoned the NuScale project in Utah immediately announced they would replace it with new natural gas generation. Nuclear acts as a fig leaf for continued fossil fuel dependence. Part 5. The real future. We are being told that we must choose between nuclear power and climate catastrophe. But this is a techno-fantasy designed to obscure the power dynamics at play. Nuclear power cannot compete with renewables like wind and solar on cost without massive government life support. While we wait decades for a single SMR to be licensed and built, we could be deploying proven, cheaper, and safer renewable energy. So don't be fooled by the glossy renderings and the billionaire hype. The lessons of Fukushima and Chernobyl are clear. Nuclear power is not a climate solution. It is a long-running, big lie that we can no longer afford to believe.